Greetings, YouTube. Welcome to the Daddy Dan blog, where I'm doing another comic book review. Can you guess what I'm reviewing? And the big mystery will be whether that 12 seconds of theme song gets me another copyright claim or not. We shall see. So I'm going to break out the X-Files comics today and take a look inside one of these rare classic comics. Check this out. I've got the very first X-Files comic books ever to appear on Topps. They only made 120,000 of these, and I've got number 1,382 in a special limited edition run, and I managed to pick up number 2 even though they made 90,000 of these, and my number was a little bit higher. But to have limited editions, number 1 and number 2 are the Topps X-Files comics. I like that. One day I'm going to review both these at the same time. But not today. And I got this random one-off X-Files number 21. I never even opened it, never looked inside of it, but I bought it for that really cool cover. Nope, that's not the one I picked to review neither. But a few years ago, back in the day, I did check out the number 1 ICW Comics X-Files. Mainly I did the review on it just so I could put that wonderful comic book cover on the wall. What do you think about that one, dude? So that's one of the reasons I picked out this Topps Annual number 1 from 1995, because it's a number 1 with a really cool Scully and Mulder cover, and it's an annual, and it's a little bit bigger than an average comic book. So Dave Sunstorm, is X-Files the good stuff? And since it's like the couple of days before Thanksgiving, and I really got to break hard into the good stuff after this, I thought I'd give the guys one more ghost story before the holidays. So let's get started and see how hollow Eve really is. Inside the front cover, we get the really cool X-Files layout. The truth is out there, and the people we can blame for this 1995 dismal nightmare we're about to endure from Topps Comic Books. And in some far-off mystic land, archaeologist Dave has uncovered the grave of Lilith. That's right, he hears a bump in the tomb. He goes to investigate. And the shock as he sees the ghost of Lilith, the ghost of Hollow Eve, the first Eve, the spirit succubus demon thing to destroy wicked humans or something, right? Notice I'm having to figure this out for myself because it literally has nothing you can read to tell you what's going on in this comic book, right at the beginning. And the trend continues as Joker Daddy busts out a big laugh and then dies of fear. We know he dies from fear because somebody done called in the FBI. And they call my daughter. No, whoops, that's not my daughter. That's Scully. And that's Mulder. And Mulder asks Scully, you want to hear a ghost story? And you guess what story he's about to tell. So the little panel's brought to you by the Daddy Dan blog. Get what? The story we thought it was. Was it? No, he's going to tell Scully about this plane pilot. This plane pilot who was on a cargo delivering trip when all of a sudden a hollow ghost appeared. The whole thing, whole time he is talking into his head side. He's telling the story. Guess what? Mulder gets the tape. That's right. Mulder plays the tape with Scully, and they're talking about the ghostly encounter on the plane. And in what is probably the worst art I've ever seen in my beloved life, the elderly looking Mulder heads out to investigate, and Scully goes the other direction. Scully gets a faint tune. Hey, Starbuck, be careful. She sees the familiar facade of her father. What could be going on? The ghostly thing has begun to spread everywhere, and she said, Daddy. You would have think a plane that hit the ground that hard would have busted into flames and there wouldn't be nothing left. But no, this plane just went nose up in the earth. That was the plane dude was flying that Mulder was listening to the tape from. Scully and Mulder have arrived on the scene. and going over witness statements with the cop. Meanwhile, on Route 17, right outside of Savannah, Georgia, hey, I bet Chance from the Nostalgic Pod Blast. I bet he knows where that is, don't you? As Trucker Marone carries his load of Hershey bars down the Savannah Highway, he sees a strange ghostly figure. He stops and offers it a ride. It climbs aboard with nary a word. And he says, "How old are you?" And she says, "Old as time. I'm home now." Trucker Marone is about to lay his best line on the witch, but suddenly she vanishes right as they pass the graveyard. He cannot believe his eyes as she's gone. He slams on his tires. His brakes, excuse me. He slams on his brakes. And in wonderful full panel art, we see the truck barrel through the cemetery, destroying all in its path, coming to rest against a familiar old tombstone. Dun, 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 dun. Hey, it's kind of scary. Browning is my family name. Oh, oh no. So, Eve, like in Adam and Eve, a spirit of humanity, Scully and Mulder have the conversation, the paranormal one, about a ghost named Eve. A ghost that's really Lilith the First. And, it's confusing, but we've all heard the story, right? Well, it's a good time. We're going to head on over and talk to the deceased professor, the archaeologist, his family. We're going to get a deep dive into Mr. Archaeologist and what he was all about. That's right, we're going to go through some long, boring panels about the professor, about what he was a professor in and when he became one. We're going to learn about his affair with Maid Marian and how he sparked a little childlet, a little baby girl from a bad relationship, cheating on his wife. Oh, God, who cares about all that? Hey, check this out. Lilith lives forever. Yeah, everybody who died from seeing the ghost all got that same grimace and look on their face as Scully does the autopsies. As Scully checks out the bodies to learn they all died in fear, Mulder goes through the professor's cemetery on his property where they bury all the relatives. Rich people do that. They keep all their relatives buried in the backyard, and he discovers the grave of Lilith Moore. The professor's wife. So we might just get a twist when Mulder falls flat on his face with a groan. Oof. Yeah, that's right, Mulder. He done hit the ground. He done fell. He gets up. He looks around. He finds that he has blood on his hands. And at that point, we see the professor's little illegitimate daughter and her daughter having nightmares about the ghostly apparition. As she hears strange sounds, she wakes in fear, looking around the room. As she turns the lights on, she says, "Give me back my mother," wrote in blood on her mirror. Oh, the fear fills the body as she flees. As she flees in terror from the mansion, racing down roads at belligerently high speeds, as you hear her tires go vroom as she passes by. The kid she kicked out of the car. That's confusing, ain't it? Okay, the little fake kid in the back seat's little devil girl. It's the spirit thing pretending to be the kid, freaking out the mama, taking control of the car, plunging it off a cliff right in front of her baby. Oh, the irony, the humanity. Where's the commercial? This comic book has no commercials. And when a comic book has no commercials, you must insert one. And let me insert one now for my friend Rob Knopfel. That's right, Bigfoot Michigan Rob. He's got True Cryptid Encounters, Book 1 and Book 2 out now. Book 1 came out last year. It's great. I'm reading Book 2 now. It's awesome. It makes a wonderful Christmas gift. Everybody, be sure to pick up True Cryptid Encounters. And while we're doing shout-outs, be sure to check out my friend Thrash Pondo Pond. You can see us every other Sunday with Sarah. My flock is everywhere. On our little show we do every other Sunday, taking on the topics that you need to know about. And the incredible Dave Sunstorm and his brother Steven Sunstorm. You know, YouTube's good stuff, brothers. Be sure to check them out, and you will enjoy their videos. I promise. And be sure to join the Golden Age of TV, Pat McCormick, the retro TV that everybody needs to see. And hey, Scully, Mulder, let me tell you about these other guys like BK on the Air, Big Guys 45s, the King of Comedy, Corey's Comedy Channel. Really, is that true? Yeah, well, probably not. My flock is everywhere, Sarah. She keeps the good times a-rolling. The Nostalgic Pod Blast with our friend Chance, who could probably tell you more about the X-Files than I could. It's true. Retro Nerd Girl, Brainbenders, Banners, Chrissy. We love Chrissy. AAP, Homestead. AAP for life. And the Unapologetic Geek. Hey, I was on the Unapologetic Geek last week. You could check that episode out and make my day by leaving a comment, telling him how bad you want Danny back on there. It's true, you could. And Harold the Hatter, and a special shout out to Eric over at Gypsy Road. We miss you, brother! And after discovering the fact that Lilith Moore was dead, was probably a ghost, and was probably pretending to be some spirit of an ancient one, Mulder is on the case. Mulder says, we must consult a psychic. And in full irritating glossy-ass shiny panels brought to you by the Daily Damn Blog, we're going to get Mulder talking to the psychic. Mulder's going to convince the psychic to help him in the case of tracking down whether this is the vengeful spirit of Lilith from the Bible, or if it's just some creepy little ghost. So they're going to set up a seance with cameras and all that cool stuff to find out. You know, the ghost hunters I watch would really like this comic book. Hey, look, they got that little lady from Poltergeist. I'm going to come in and find Carol Ann. I wonder if they threw her in there as a joke. We got the little midget psychic ghost hunting chick. Looks just like the one from that movie. Yeah, I'm going to find Carol Ann, Scully, and Mulder. Yeah, here I am. I'm a little prophet. I'm a little witch. I'm a little tiny Ghostbuster. Oh, God, this is so irritating. Well, anyway, we're going to get our seance on. We're going to throw some salt in the air, and she's going to pitch, scream, and do a show. She's probably going to pull somebody through a closet in a minute. Honestly, I think whoever drew this comic book and whoever wrote this comic book done been drew through a closet once or twice already. It's kind of on the woke side. I won't point out all the ways it is. Also, let me point out that this has to be some of the tragically worst art I've ever saw. Whoever drew this comic book should get kicked square in the cojones for making Mulder look like that. That has got to be the worst Mulder drawing I've ever seen. As this chick over here goes all supernatural with the spirit essence flowing out of her mouth. Hey, I saw that episode, didn't you? And look, I guess I could say something about, is that Gene Simmons? Trans Gene Simmons, Marilyn Manson, I don't know. But the spirit of, I'm going to call it Lilith, because it's from ocean onto the land. They said it right when it said dragged. Drags you screaming from your mom's. Ah! Yes. The spirit has arisen. You can read along with it if you choose to. Now, this didn't work out good. Psychic guy's having a brain fart. Everybody's freaking out. Psychic guy falls flat on his face and goes, ooh. His face hits the salt and there's a strange sizzling sound. He comes off the floor with a bolt and shrieks and shrieks and strikes and shrieks. Ah! As Lilith the Banshee lets out a horrible, moaningful wail that deafens everybody. Everybody grabs their ears in pain as the shriek of the Banshee fills the room. Melee and chaos ensues in full panels brought to you Mighty Daily Damn Blog! Gives with a big rumbly, crumbly sound as things explode, bash, crash all around. Ectoplasma fills the room and slimes a couple of dudes. Electrical energies flying items around the room as sparks and lightning flies in a full-blown spectacle of supernatural awe. I said that good, didn't I? The strange being turns into a ball of light, because they always turn into an orb or a ball of light, don't they? They always turn into an orb or a ball of light, and they go shooting down the hall. Scully pursues quickly, getting ahead of Mulder's head, and Scully follows the orb down the hall, around the corner, with her trusty flashlight. Because everybody in movies and TV shows in bad situations should always have a freaking flashlight. It was at this point Scully got the fright, boy. As she come around that last corner, she saw this. Wah, wah, wah. Wah, wah, wah. That's right, Psychic Boy has turned into Psychic Fairy, and he's lurching on a Stone Hollow's leg, humping it like a dog. Jesus freaking Christ, I picked a good comic. Well, Dave, I'm sorry. Thanks to this flipper lip goof, I don't think I got a G rating. That's right, Scully's tracked down the psychic. He turned into some kind of freaky lip goof who's trying to leg hump a stone statue. And of course, that idiot goes right after Scully. And she probably dropped her flashlight and it broke, it looks like. Anyway, she's going one-on-one with mutated psychic freak guy letting out a crazy. Okay, did that really just happen? Okay, like kaboom! She's down on the ground. You expect Mulder's gonna show up and shoot this thing or something, but really, this straight over to the next page. They're on a freaking beach. It don't tell what happened next. It don't tell how he got busted. They're just on a beach talking about him being crazy, him killing people, him slipping people LSD or something to make them see ghosts and kill them, and blah, blah, blah. What a horrible, horrible ending as we see Psychic Freak, who was coming at the end of the story for the last few pages, turned out to be the killer all along, which is the stupidest thing I've ever seen or heard in my life. Look, he done snuck something into jail with him so he can get all belligerently crazy up in there. Yep, and that's the way it's truly going to end. He's going to do his little weird stuff, get all freaky tripping up in jail, and see spirits that's all going to talk to him. Echoes of the past. We are the voices. We are the voices of the past. Oh my God, what a horrible ending. What a horribly drawn comic book. What a crappy story. The X-Files. I wonder how the other story went. Was it crappy too? I don't remember. I'm going to have to watch that video back. And while we're talking about that, did you know the Night Stalker was actually the inspiration behind the X-Files? And if you're a big Night Stalker fan like I am, check out the reviews I did for all these really cool Night Stalker comic books. You'll love these a lot better than the shit you're watching now. And so we're going to end this dismal nightmare with some commercials, finally, because we didn't have none through the whole book. Couldn't take a break. Couldn't take a smoke break. Nope, had to do the whole thing straight through, like watching a really bad movie like Joker 2. Anyway, you get a X-Files Series 1 where you can buy them on DVD. And you get a commercial for some Star Wars. Finest steel cards ever made, because everybody wants a steel card, I guess. I've never seen one. Oh my God, X-Files had a magazine. And back in 1995, you could have had X-Files magazine. I can see the comic books, but the magazine? And oh my God, Mars Attacks with really cool Mars Attacks Topps cards based on the movie. I must have forever. Mars Attacks fan. And we end up with the EX-Files. That's right. Everything you can order, everything you could read. In 1995, it's out. What a horrible waste of a back cover. And that's my look at the X-Files #1 annual. The annual from 1995. A true classic, a great cover. Horribly drawn art with a really sucky story. But the cover's going to look good on the wall, right? And it's a #1. And it's apparently very good condition. That's all I got. Till next time, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Blog over, dudes.